Steve Bermack has been a part of the Elmwood community since the mid-90s. He shared with us that his favorite thing about fall is smelling all the fireplaces going while he is out for his walk, which after you hear his story, you may understand why he chooses walking. Steve also wanted to be sure that he gave a special shout out to his wife and kids for being so supportive of him, and a huge thank you to his parents and sister for giving him so much material to choose from for this performance. Please welcome to the porch, Steve Bermack.
So my brother-in-law Mark pulls my girlfriend Nancy over to the side, Nancy who is now my wife, and he says to her, since this is your first trip with the Bermacks, I need to explain what's going to happen. Everything's going to start out great. We're going to have a great time, but then something's going to happen. I don't know what, but they're going to start bickering, then they're going to start fighting, screaming, shouting. It's going to get ugly. But then, at the end of the day, they're going to apologize and everything's going to be fine. Like, really fine. It's weird. And I just wanted to let you know that. So, we didn't hear Mark saying this to Nancy at the time. My sister, my parents, and I, we were paying attention to our guide. The 6 of us and about 30 other people were about to go whitewater rafting on the Youghiogheny River in western Pennsylvania. Now, I should have known something was going to go wrong when the brain trust of the operation says, okay, so since there are so many of you, instead of our guides being in the rafts with you, we're going to be in the water around you. Okay. The second thing that he said that should have tipped me off was that he said, if you're about to hit a big rock, what you want to do is throw yourself into the bottom of the raft. Okay. So we get going. Now, again, this is the first trip that my wife has taken with us. So everybody's getting to know each other. It's going really well. Now, I want to explain something about the Bermacks, and really the only way I can do that is by asking you a question. How many of you have ever seen the TV show The Munsters? Okay, so good people, right? Great people, a little weird, and they don't really know it, right? So that's the Bermacks. Now, there's one member of the family who is completely normal, completely sweet, and loves the Munsters for who they are. Do you remember who that was?
Eddie?
Marilyn. So my wife has become the cousin Marilyn of our family. So we're having a great time. Beautiful day out. We pull over to the bank of the river. We have lunch. We get back into the river. Now here come the rapids. Now I want to explain rapids to you. I didn't understand this before, but I do now. Level 2 rapids. The Youghiogheny River has level 2, 3, 4, and 5 level rapids. Level 2, has anybody ever been in a wave pool? Have you been in a wave pool? Great, okay. So that's level 2. Level 3, bumper cars. Anybody ever been on bumper cars? Okay. How about a really good roller coaster? Have you been on a really good roller coaster? All right, that's level 4. Now, how many of you have ever been on all 3 at the same time? That's level 5. So here come the rapids and here comes the bickering. So, hey, you know what? I think you're pushing a little bit too hard on the right. Well, if you push a little bit harder on the left, we'd be okay. Here comes level 3. What the hell are you doing up front? You know what? We don't know what we're doing up front here, but what we do know is that whatever you're doing in the back isn't helping. Things are starting to get a little rougher. Here comes level 4. What the fuck is wrong with you? Shut the fuck up! Go fuck yourself! And we are now hurtling down the river, banging into everything possible. We are spinning like a little pepper in a blender. And now here comes the big rock. Now I remembered what we're supposed to do, right? So I throw myself into the raft. And I'm waiting for impact, and I'm waiting for everybody to pile on top of me. And we hit the big rock, and I look up, and I'm the only one in the raft. Everybody else is falling into the river. Now, again, the brain trust told us what to do if we were about to hit the rock, but he didn't tell us what to do after we hit the rock. So I'm sitting here, I'm like this, and then I'm like this, because the water is pushing the raft up onto the rock, and then I'm like this. And I fall with the raft into the river, and I come around, and now I'm like that mom where the kid is trapped underneath the car, and she's got this adrenaline. She lifts up the car and takes her kid out. That's me. But now we're still in the rapids, by the way, and I'm looking for my family. I see my dad. Now, I weigh about $155, soaking wet, and my dad weighs a little bit more, right? So I find my dad, I pull him in. I didn't know it at the time, but he had 2 broken ribs. Get him into the raft, get my brother-in-law in, my girlfriend. We're looking for my mom and my sister who were somewhere else. Again, still in the rapids. We find them. My sister said she was underwater for about a minute. She really thought she was going to die. We get them into the raft. And it's, are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. And then there's silence. And then there's sobbing. And then, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry too. I love you. I love you too. I love you so much. We finally get done with the ride. We get out, we're hugging, we're kissing, and everything is okay. Just like my brother-in-law said it would be. Now, I don't know how I'm going to die. I don't know how my family is going to die. But one thing I can guarantee is that none of us are going to die while whitewater rafting because we're never doing that again.